Hi, everybody. Welcome into Sports Talk Chicago. Great to be here with all of you, all of our great affiliates, radio and TV. Here on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and all over your podcasting platforms and social media platforms at Sports Talk Chicago. We got so much to get into on today's program. The Bears are teasing that maybe Matt Eberflus is going to stick around one more year. We got a lot to say on that. Cubs hire Craig Counsell. They pay the highest rate that they ever could for a manager to come to Chicago, and they fired David Ross, which I love. We'll talk about that later. Plus, the White Sox get rid of Tim Anderson, the hometown boy who just sucked so bad last year. Had to go. Good call by Chris Getz. We're going to get to all of that here on today's program. This is Jon Zaghloul. John Meadows is in the director and producer's chair here today. Big shout out to all of our great radio and TV affiliates. Logos at the top of your screen as well. The new ones, WKAN Kankakee 105.5, The Ticket down in Wilmington and Kankakee. ACTV, City's 92.9 Talk FM. Appeared with them this week on their morning show. Had a really good time with Kat Peterson. AM 1230 WJOB and Jed TV. Support all of our great affiliates. Follow us all over at Sports Talk Chicago and hang out here on YouTube with us at Sports Talk Chicago. Certainly appreciate you guys being here for an action-packed day and an action-packed week of Chicago sports news. We're going to get to all of it here on today's program. So, who here wants another year of Matt Eberflus? Anybody? Anyone want to raise their hand? John, you want to raise your hand? Or anybody want another year of the Bears' current head coach, who is the worst, literally, in Bears history? Well, according to some reports, Adam Johns of The Athletic, he may stay another year. Here's what it says in Johns' article for The Athletic. Going to read a little bit of a long quote. Want to make sure I get this all out there, though. This is what John said. I believe General Manager Ryan Poles will be given an opportunity to hire another coach should he decide, to dismiss Eberflus. But I also believe Poles believes everything he said about Eberflus after he made the trade for Montez Sweat. And here's what Poles said about Eberflus, which we covered this on last week's show. Most teams fold, and they're not folding. It's been hard. It's been really hard, especially from where we started last year, trying to build this and do it the right way. What I see from him, Eberflus, on a daily basis, and how he gets this team ready on a weekly basis, to me, I see a grown man that has leadership skills to get this thing out of the hole and into where it needs to be. Johns also said this. Retaining Eberflus would not prevent the Bears from making other changes. They do need a new defensive coordinator, and they may draft a quarterback. Wow. When I thought it couldn't get any worse, it just gets worse. I don't even know where to begin. I guess I could say this to start. We don't even need to get into the coaching resignations, the mistreatment and in-development of Justin Fields. Let's just talk about pure numbers. Matt Eberflus is 5-21. After 26 games as the Chicago Bears head coach. He's 5-21. 5-21. The Bears are 1-9 under Eberflus in one-score games, tied for first in penalties, second in the league in giveaways. Not to mention, two coaches this year during the season have cut ties with the team, quote-unquote, due to, officially speaking, HR complaints. There's no culture. Internally or externally, these players don't respond to what Eberflus has to say, and he is by far the worst coach in Bears history. Why in the world does he deserve another year? Why does he deserve a second chance? Why does he deserve one more chance, one more opportunity to try and make things right? And I'll tell you this, and I mean this in every sense of the word. If Ryan Poles uses his quote-unquote football judgment and says at the end of the year, I think Matt Eberflus should stay, then they should both go. If Ryan Poles makes the decision that, yes, I want Eberflus to stay, then automatically Ryan Poles goes on the hot seat. And here's why. You cannot tell me, nobody could convince me. I think all of us are in agreement on this. All Chicago Bears fans. We may disagree about the Bajan Fields. We may disagree about so many other things with this team, but we can all agree on this. There is no reason why Matt Eberflus should be on this team again this year. There is no reason why he should coach in football again. Remember, he's a defensive guy. Bears defense, one of the worst in football. Defensive guy brought in from the Colts, their defensive coordinator, never impressive over there whatsoever, comes here, somehow gets an opportunity, and blows this team into the ground. Now, you could say, hey, they've been trying to tank, they've been trying to lose. I don't care. That's not a good enough excuse for 5-21. And what do they do with these top picks that they're tanking for? Well, as of this show, nothing. They traded for DJ Moore, and their quarterbacks and their offense doesn't even prioritize or target DJ Moore enough. Not to mention the fact that this year they're going to have top picks, probably going to squander them again, because it seems like no matter who's quarterback for this team, they screw up. But no. Matt Eberflus deserves an opportunity to stay and prove more why he gets a chance. I mean, haven't we seen enough? Haven't Bears fans seen enough? Hasn't everybody seen enough? What more do we need to see? What more does Matt Eberflus need to prove to all of us? He came in. There was already criticism surrounding this hire because he had no experience and was not impressive in Indianapolis. He was about average as a defensive coordinator, comes in as a defensive guru, stinks it up. They tanked, quote unquote, last year, but they made excuses for it. This year, they're even worse. I would argue they're worse this year than last year. At least last year, there was some heart. Justin Fields played a little bit better. They played to his strengths. Things improved down the stretch. This year, nothing. Everybody sucks. Even Fields, all of them. And you're going to tell me that he deserves one more year to figure it out. He's figured out enough. This is not some novice who's never coached in the NFL. He's been a coordinator for years. He knows how this operation works. And this may not be a big deal to some, but it is to me. I've never heard of two coaches on your staff, people that you chose to hire, resign mid-season or get fired or whatever the hell the Bears want to call it in their PR language in terms of leaving mid-season due to HR complaints. And in some cases, more. HR complaints is the official story. I've never heard of that before. I've never heard of somebody surviving that as a coach, right? Never. I've never even heard of that happening to a team at all during the season. At all in general. Two coaches, same year? Mid-season. And they resigned due to HR complaints. And now, instead of reprimanding Eberflus for hiring those people, or reprimanding Eberflus for going 5-21, or reprimanding Eberflus for totally tanking Justin Fields' career and his development, we're going to reward him with another year in Chicago. That's how Chicago sports franchises work. For the longest time, Garp Pax got to stick around with the Bulls, and coaching situation there never really changed. Jim Boylan got to stay for a couple of years when he really didn't need to or deserve to. For some reason, Chicago sports teams are obsessed with paying people to be mediocre. They're obsessed with paying people to be so bad that it's okay to keep them around. Look, from where I come from, you got to be good at what you do to earn your keep. You got to do what you do well to earn your keep. You don't just get something because you're there. By default, you deserve to get it. And I know that the whole response is always, well, who would be better in replacing Eberflus? Somebody's got to be better than this. Somebody. I don't have a strong opinion as of today on who the Bears should hire, nor do I even know everything that goes on inside that building, right? I don't know who they may or may not be considering, who would be a good fit or not, but I know this. There has to be a better fit out there today than Matt Eberflus. I mean, I hate to say it, but Matt Eberflus is making Matt Nagy look amazing. And Matt Nagy should never coach again, and he is. And look what's happened to the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and their offense under him. And yet Matt Nagy, all of a sudden, looks like a great coach compared to Matt Eberflus. Hey, to Nagy's credit, I will say this. No resignations on his staff due to HR complaints. And better-ish years, to an extent. He sabotaged a couple of quarterbacks, but, I mean, they did better than this. I am utterly shocked by this report. I really hope it's not true, but this is how sports franchises kind of work, right? So they leak stuff to the media to get a reaction. Well, here's my reaction. Dumb move. And if they do this, talk about a joke of a franchise and a joke of an organization. There is no reason why anybody should be considering even the thought, even for the split second. If you're thinking this for a split second, you're wrong. Matt Eberflus should stay. No reason why he should stay. None. And I'm sick of the justification, whatever it's going to be. It doesn't size up to the situation at hand. It doesn't size up to the amount of transgressions that he's committed, not only to this franchise, to his players, to himself, but to the fan base. The amount of things that he's done, his rap sheet is through the roof in terms of malfeasance, in terms of stupidity, in terms of dumb moves. And yet, reports are coming out today that, hey, maybe the Bears will keep him another year. Run it back. Run it back with what? For what? What, another 3-15 season? Come on. This stuff is stupid. And the Bears are dumb if they decide to pursue this. I don't know if anybody's coming down as hard as they should be on this, too. This is a serious report to me, and this is troubling. Deeply troubling. This needs to be spoken up about and talked about more. And I know a lot of people are scared to say something. They don't want to lose their credentials. They don't want to get disbarred or disbanded from the press room and the media center. We don't care. Okay, the fact is, if anybody tries to even chill for this to occur, you're crazy. Matt Eberflus should never be a head coach in football again, and he's proven. And not just because I have a bias against him, okay? He can't develop a quarterback. He's screwed Justin Fields. He's had 2 coaches resign that he hired, that he handpicked due to HR complaints. So can't even judge character. Can't lead a team. Word salad at press conferences. Can't even confirm whether or not Justin Fields is going to play or whether or not he's medically cleared. And yet, we have reports today saying maybe 1 more year. We don't need 1 more year. We need a new coach, and we need something different inside Hallis Hall. This is not going to work. This will not work for the Bears, and this will not work for their future. Their future is already grim at best, because if they fire Eberflus, they're going to have to hire somebody new, and we might do a whole rebuild all over again. But you know what? I'd rather do that than continue to reward somebody who just can't get it done. Why stick with somebody who we know can't get it done because you're scared of the unknown, quote unquote, in a rebuild? Do the rebuild, take a shot, do something different, because this didn't work. Admit you're wrong and move forward. And Mark Trestman only lasted 2 years, right? They didn't say we got to give him a 3rd year. No, they fired him. Why can't the Bears do that too with Matt Eberflus? What's stopping them from making that move? Why is there a hesitation, a maybe, a I don't know? No. Look, where I come from and the way I've been raised, if you are not good at your job, eventually it's going to catch up to you, and eventually you're going to be fired. I don't reward people for bad work. You don't reward people for bad work. Why should the Bears be doing it? Bring in somebody else, anybody else. I mean, I'm willing to take anybody, literally Joe Schmo off the street's probably going to be better than this. I don't know what they got going on over there. So I am so frustrated by this report. I'm so frustrated by what I see come out. And I don't know what's truly going to happen. We're going to wait till the end of the season and see what does happen. But Matt Eberflus better not have a job this upcoming offseason. It's not because I hate him or I want somebody to get fired. It's because he just can't. He is incapable of doing the job. He's incapable of being an NFL head coach. Or maybe he could be an NFL head coach with a perfect team and a star-studded roster just like everybody else can in football. But he can't with this. He can't hire personnel. He can't develop quarterbacks. He can't even talk to the media, put a sentence together. I mean, this is really bad stuff. And I don't know why people are kind of wishy-washy on Eberflus, why there hasn't been as hard coverage as there should be, because in the past, there's been real hard coverage on coaches who probably shouldn't have been fired, right? So I don't know why there's kind of this, I don't want to talk about this, or, we'll see what happens. There is no reason you could defend him for anything that's happened this year. What, they won 2 games? Congratulations. You're the losingest coach in Bears history. And apparently, some think you're going to stay. Give me a break.